Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Flood. A driver involved in a February 2021 fatal collision near Marathon has been charged with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle causing death. 35-year-old Prabjot Chima from Brampton, Ontario, is expected to appear in court on January 20th after his tractor-trailer collided with the victim's pickup truck 30 kilometers west of Marathon. 69-year-old David Hamilton of Schreiber, Ontario, was pronounced dead at the scene. Hamilton was mayor of Schreiber at the time. After missing last year's visit, Santa Claus has made his way back to town early, stopping off at the Inner City Shopping Center to spread joy and make a list of gifts. Mitchell Ringos has more.
Last year, the mall canceled all public events due to COVID-19, but this year opened their doors once again to Santa Claus with a few modifications. This year's Santa Magic Holiday Experience had a new plexiglass wall in between Santa and the kids. Even with the barrier, the Christmas event had plenty of families stopping by to get their pictures taken with the man himself all the way from the North Pole. Inner City Shopping Center marketing manager Shannon Young says even though the kids couldn't sit on Santa's lap, they were still very excited.
You know what, we're going to keep it around the plexiglass barrier for just to see what happens, but hopefully, cross our fingers, next year we can have it back to normal.
And for most kids, meeting Santa every year at the mall is a dream. And last year, we're missing out on the beloved annual holiday event, which Young says was nice to finally have back.
I think they've been waiting. They're like, we're Santa, we're Santa. We get emails, we get kids coming up to us asking us that, and it's great that he's back and they can see him. They're happy.
Santa will be available for book visits at the mall from 11 in the morning to just before 7 at night, all the way until December 24th. With Mr. Claus and his helpers finally back in Thunder Bay, we asked some kids at the mall what kind of gifts they asked for.
I want the Mocha So Spider. I want a Godzilla toy for Christmas. LOL doll.
Anything else?
No.
I would like a Nintendo Switch, and what the holiday means to me is it means family, friends, and getting together in the birth of Jesus. I like the holidays because it's the birth of our Lord. Thank you very much.
And Santa's home away from home here at Inner City Shopping Center will be getting a touch-up next year with a brand new gingerbread house and accessories. Mitchell Ringos, TBT News.
A request to improve safety at social service buildings, including the site of a recent murder, headlined Monday night's Thunder Bay City Council agenda, and a list of outside proposals to build a multi-use indoor turf facility is being kept under wraps by the city. Council members have received a report on the 8 submissions. The call for expressions of interest allowed proposals such as a soccer dome or bubble, as well as different sites aside from Chapels Park. No decisions will be made as the city awaits an answer on a $22 million federal funding request for the original indoor turf project. In other business, West Fork Councillor Kristen Oliver has requested the DSAP review its eviction practices to see if stricter guidelines can be put in place and add 24-hour security at Spence Court, where a man was murdered earlier this month.
I've been discussing the concerns that a lot of the residents in Spence Court are experiencing and the fear that they have, recognizing that a lot of these people have lived in this complex for decades, and over the course of the last few years they're seeing substantial increases in some criminal activity and violent behavior.
Council will also hear back from the city's bylaw department on ways they can control the high number of shopping carts abandoned throughout the city. One of the elements of the Ford government's recent fall economic statement includes several amendments to the much-maligned Far North Act. The move is being welcomed by Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford, who oversees a pair of ministries that are greatly affected by the act. The act came into effect a decade ago, geared towards protecting land with provincial parks. However, some of that land included Indigenous territory, which effectively limited development in the region. Rickford says while there are many downsides to the act, there were elements of it that he and others liked, such as land use planning. He says following consultation with Indigenous leaders, these new provisions will enhance relationships and infrastructure improvements in the region.
Aim to bring joint decision-making, consensus-based decision-making, if you will, around key legacy infrastructure to support hydro rights of ways, prospective corridors of prosperity and highways, broadband access, and all those different things.
Rickford says the amendments will come into effect as soon as the fall economic statement is ratified and receives royal assent. Representatives from Mikinaku's Children's Fund are hoping for a big boost to their fundraising efforts at the end of this month. The group gathered at Sweet North Bakery this past week to provide an update on their goal to provide new winter coats to over 350 students from the Kuwaitanuk Internet High School. Sweet North had partnered with Mikinaku's for their most recent campaign called Coffee for Coats, which raised about 1/4 of their $25,000 total goal. Former student and now KIHS teaching assistant Jenna Williamson was happy to see a partnership between a local business and a foundation that works to help Indigenous youth.
It feels amazing. I feel like it's definitely needed for the community to be more interactive with not only one organization that's helping Indigenous people, but multiple organizations. It's really good to see.
We want everybody in any community to know that your neighbors are there for you. And I think one thing that maybe the pandemic has highlighted is that when we support local, when we support each other, our community grows and our community benefits.
Shandrock is challenging businesses and individuals in the community to help raise the rest of the $25,000 goal on Giving Tuesday, which falls on November 30th, the Tuesday after Black Friday and Cyber Monday. A cookbook, which has been 8 months in the making, has finally been released by a Thunder Bay author, and she has one main mission for it: to teach people how to cook rather than what to cook. Fiona Jean is the author of the new cookbook called The Busy Mom's Guide to a Clean Kitchen. She officially released it at the Thunder Bay Country Market, where she also provides live cooking demonstrations to show just how easy it can be to thrive in the kitchen. The how-to book focuses on certain cooking techniques, eliminating waste in the kitchen and keeping your cooking clean. Jean says she wants to help others who may struggle in the kitchen like she used to.
I'm hoping that I inspire people to use less in their kitchen. So my big why of doing this book was to leave a thriving planet for future generations. And the whole book is about zero waste, consuming less, and spending more time doing fun activities versus doing the dishes.
Jean was signing copies of the cookbook at her launch event. The books can be purchased at the Country Market for $25, and it's also available online at lulu.com. A Thunder Bay family received quite the surprise while doing renovations on their East Christina house. They uncovered a wedding book from 1945 lodged inside one of the home's original walls. Thanks to the Facebook page Thunder Bay Memories, the owner, 96-year-old Dolly Carlson, was found. She now lives in a retirement home in Kelowna, BC.
Having a story to your home and knowing who built it, knowing how long they were here, they raised family here, and just...
The Wolframe family was surprised to learn they had been living inside an unintended time capsule, uncovering a 76-year-old wedding book after doing renovations on the walls of their home. Melanie Wolframe, the daughter-in-law of the couple who discovered the book, shared the findings on the Thunder Bay Memories Facebook page, and within minutes, Dolly Carlson was contacted. Why the wedding documents were lodged inside of the wall was a question left unanswered for decades, until now.
Doug, the nephew, had talked to Dolly, and she had no idea. She had no idea why it would be in the wall, why he put it in there, so that was a surprise. But then he reached out to his cousin Lois, which was their daughter, and she said that she found out that Dad liked to hide things in the walls, so there could be other important things in there. So we're not going to be too quick to patch the walls up. We take a look and poke around.
Yeah. Dolly was married to her husband Alf for 55 years, 46 of those spent inside the East Christina home. Dolly is still alive and well, now residing in a nursing home in Kelowna, and she's thrilled to be reunited with this long-lost piece of family history.
Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because never missed it all these years. I had no reason. I thought it was in my safety deposit box. I'd like to thank them very much, because usually if somebody finds something old like that, they just toss it away, you know, but it was very nice of her. I don't know if she contacted my daughter in Ottawa or not, but she is sending the documents to her.
Dolly wanted to say that she's still alive and kicking at 96 and a half years old, and they had a lot of love and not a lot of money, and they lived a great life. So that was important to her.
Join now with Kurt Black. Such a fascinating story. A wedding book lodged in the wall of an East Christina home. Just crazy stuff. Also crazy stuff, though. We got some pretty good curling action out west right now. McCarville trying to get on the win board.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get the Olympic dream back on track. We have the highlights from day 2 of the Olympic trials right after the break.